This is a screencast for AQA GCSE Religious Studies from 2018 onwards. This is how to deal question 4. Question 4 will come in the format explain to, either beliefs, teachings or ways, which looks very similar to a question type 3. However, it will then say that you should refer to sacred writings or another source of, and then it might link to the religion that you are studying. For example, Christian belief and teaching or Islamic belief and teaching. This means that you have to use a quotation from a sacred writing or another source of wisdom from the religion that you are studying, which is being asked about. For example, the obvious ones are the Holy Book, for example, the Bible or the Quran, but there are other sources of sacred writings that can be used. So, question 4 is worth 5 marks. And therefore on a minute a mark it's about 5 minutes. They're looking for 2 developed reasons and then that reference in your answer used as a quotation. So 2 small paragraphs similar to question 3 but with that extra bit of information. So instead of having 2 times 2 sentences, actually you need to have 1 times 2 sentence and 1 times 3 sentences. That second one having the quotation in it. To put the detail in, really each sentence needs to be a minimum of 15 words, which is full of knowledge and appropriate keywords. Because there's extra quotation, 2 extra lines of writing compared to a question 3. The mark scheme is exactly the same as a question 3, as you can see here. However, there is an extra mark available for this relevant and accurate reference to sacred writing. They are not expecting you to remember word for word the quotes from the text. However, they do expect you to say what the quote is, how it links to the point that you're making and where it's from. Here's an example. So this is looking at 2 ways that baptism may be practiced by Christians, and because this is question 4, you must refer to these sacred writings or these other sources of wisdom and authority. So here's someone's answer. Have a quick read through that and pause it and then restart. As we can see, clearly as an examiner, there are not 2 paragraphs here. I cannot see any quotation marks, so I'm not seeing a quotation. I can see the word Bible here, but it doesn't go on to give a quote or information specifically from the Bible. It's too vague, it's too generalised, and there's nothing about the actual beliefs and teachings in there. Another example, same question. This time I am seeing the 2 paragraphs, however it's not detailed, lacks development of the points, so we cannot see a point and then development. The reference to the Bible is very, very vague because it says Jesus said you should be baptized. Doesn't say it's in the Bible, doesn't actually say what happened, not detailed enough. Third example then, pause the video, read through it. So we can see that this person has clearly got a reference in their work. I can see the word in the Bible and then it goes on to say what it says. And then something that Jesus actually said, we have the quote marks here, beginning and end, and something that he actually said. They have referred to scripture, sacred writings or scripture in their work. If we look at the detail then, and whether it's linked, all of these are Christian beliefs and teachings linked to baptism and show the examiner you know exactly what you're talking about when you're talking about baptism, putting the detail in, not just talking in generalized way. So final tips for question 4, make your quotation really, really obvious to that examiner so it stands out. The use of quotation marks is really important, where it's come from, and for example if it was Jesus who sang it, say who says it, and they're still looking for those 2 really clear paragraphs full of detail, full of information.